to share with one another, to be in the oneness that is God in all things. And I know that as we move through this service, we are absolutely, irrepressibly, absolutely over the top, taken in with Reverend Ann's words and with the music with Michou and Joseph and all who participate here today. I give thanks for this time. It is a spiritual, wonderful, joyful time. In spite of the title, I should say the theme, which is gravity. And I know that we are going to have a wonderful excursion with Reverend Ann. So giving thanks for all of this opportunity, all of us coming together in this oneness and loving each other, sharing with each other. We move into this time with gratitude. And we say together.
And so it is.
Thank you, Pat. Good morning, and welcome to Everyday Center for Spiritual Living, where we empower each other to live joy-filled lives. When?
Every day.
Every day. I'm Stephen Lawrenson. Please silence your cell phones. But first, check in with Facebook to let them know where you are. Are there any first-time visitors or anyone who hasn't been here for a while? If so, please wave your hand so we can call on you to introduce yourself.
I don't know.
I think we're all old-timers. Some of us more so, and some of us less. So, about online?
I think they're all old timers too.
Welcome all. Does anyone have a birthday, anniversary, or something to celebrate? If so, please wave your hand so we can call on you. Yes.
Well, I had a great celebration with my son on his 54th birthday.
Wow.
Which is August 21st, tomorrow.
Anybody? Yes, Carol.
I'm celebrating what I consider a practical, miraculous recovery of my sister who lives in Arkansas, who's 93, who was in a serious car accident, walked away, and is recovering beautifully.
Wow.
Good morning,
Anybody online celebrating? Okay.
Well, I'm going to announce something for someone
Yes, Reverend.
who's online, because Reverend Diana Lee and Joan are having their anniversary today.
Yay.
I don't know how many.
Join me in singing "We Celebrate You" to the tune of Happy Birthday.
We celebrate you, we celebrate you, we celebrate you, we celebrate you, we celebrate you.
All right. Now let's take a moment to stand and greet each other.
They're muting themselves so you could talk. They figured it out, Jean?
Yeah, I'm on now. Can you
Did I
hear
sign?
me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it was
Oh.
just hiding. You were just hiding behind the email, huh?
I never knew. I am so dense about computers, and it's just it takes me forever to get things going together. I don't know.
That's all right. They get going on you though, don't they?
Yeah, I can't even believe that 20 something years ago I was teaching people how to use computers. And now I can't do anything. Things have progressed.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul. It's kind of weird not hearing them now. Since
Yeah, it
hearing
is.
all the time and not being able to
Oh,
chat.
right. And Paul, it's good to see you. Haven't seen you in a long time.
But you're muted.
Yeah, I can't hear you either.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Okay.
Joseph is coming. Joseph is coming. Okay, everybody. Plenty of time to visit afterwards. Plenty of time to visit afterwards. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Diana Lee. Ladies and germs, it's time for Joseph to have the floor.
So we're going to share a song for the interlude, which I encourage you all to join me with. So in case you haven't noticed, this weekend is a busy weekend in town, and the song is just to honor Native Americans, their resilience, and all they've contributed. Yeah. So the words, I believe, are in either Sioux or Lakota. It's Takuye o Yasin, and one translation is all my relations, and it's just about how we're all connected.
Yeah.
And I'd like to just acknowledge that the way we're going to pronounce it today is not the way it's normally pronounced. So go with it. It fits this.
And I will find the Native American 4 directions. Great Spirit, Mother Earth, Father Sky, Grandmother Moon, Grandfather Sun, and all my relations. The 2-leggeds, the 4-leggeds, those that swim, the winged ones, the creepy crawlers, the fungi and bacteria kingdom, the crystal and the mineral kingdom, the flower and plant people, the tree people, the cloud people, and the star nation. We welcome and honor you and ask for your presence and blessings now at this ceremony to honor all that is. Please stand and face east. Spirits, energies, and animals of the east, we ask that you honor us with your presence and bless this ceremony. East, that represents sunrise, morning, new beginnings, illumination, the mental plane, and springtime. East, that is represented by eagle that flies higher than any other bird and brings illumination from the spirit world. Strong, mighty elk also represents the energies of the East. Thank you for your presence here now. Please turn to your right. Spirits, energies, and animals of the South, we ask that you honor us with your presence and bless this ceremony. South, that represents midday, the fullness of life, the physical plane, green and yellow, joyfulness and summer. South, that is represented by Coyote the trickster, the playful otter, and the innocence of porcupine. Frog, that brings cleansing and new life and fertility to the beings of earth, is also representative of energy from the South. Thank you for your presence here. Please turn to your right. Spirits, energies, and animals of the West, we ask that you honor us with your presence and bless this ceremony. West, that represents the emotional plane, the end of the journey, completion, attainment of goals, sunset, and autumn. West is presented by the strength and introspection of brown bear and the color red. Thank you for your presence here now. Please turn to your right. North. Spirits, energies, and animals of the North, we ask that you honor us with your presence and bless this ceremony. North, that represents nighttime, the spiritual plane, spiritual attainment, and winter. North, that is represented by the color black, white buffalo calf woman, wolf the teacher, raven the bringer of magic and healing from the spirit world, owl, guardian of the night, and by buffalo that symbolizes prayers and abundance. Thank you for your presence here now. Please turn, face the center aisle or your screen. Close your eyes, put your hands over your heart, and feel the presence of all these elements within, honoring each as an element of spirit. Now open your eyes and take a moment. As you see with the eyes of God, notice God looking back at you. Thank you.
Good morning, evening. I'm Heather Berry, practitioner emeritus. Blessed to be a part of this community For those of you who don't know me online or whatever, that's why I'm telling you who I am. Everyone here pretty much knows. Well, this morning was a wonderful opportunity because when Reverend Ann sent out her excitement about being on a roll, I thought, oh boy, I'll be in for it today. And the theme for the month is gravity, but the title for the talk is The Other Side of Hard is Easy. I hope she stuck to that.
You never know.
We love her so much. And
Gravity.
Gravity.
Are you kidding me? This is perfect. Perfect. That's perfect. See, there's perfection all around. We absolutely can count on it. And so it got me to thinking about the word gravity because there are a lot of meanings to gravity. And I'm sure that will come up. But you know, it depends on our own perceptions, experiences, and how we see the world in effect. And so the one that's important to me is the scientific force. Gravity is the scientific force of magnetism from the center of the earth to us and holds us on this planet and holds everything we see on this planet. But it also can be looked at as something really serious. And I decided to take it as an acronym. You know me, Reverend knows me well. And you take, how many of you understand this little thing that I do? Any of you?
What are you doing? Yeah.
Acronyms. An acronym. Gravity, the word gravity, as an acronym. And so you take each letter of the word and you ascribe to it a word that describes it or the feeling in it. And so this is what I came up with. G, grounding gracefully. R, revealing my A at one moment. V, vibrating. I, inner. T, truth, tenaciously and tenderly. And Y is yippee!
That's my Patty.
And so I have a little reading out of one of my favorite books. I know you all have seen this before. And it's My Heart Sings, Ernest Holmes. Acts 2:28, thou shalt make me full of joy. Emerson says that prayer is a proclamation of a joyful and a beholding soul. The Bible makes many references to the joy of God and the gladness that we should have in God's presence. How can we help but be glad and filled with joy when we believe that the presence and power that is back of everything is one perfect life, forever giving of itself, forever imparting itself to us, forever flowing through us in wondrous light and power. All nature is alive, awake, and aware with the divine presence, and everything in life responds to the song of the heart. I think about that today because of the Native Americans and the joy when they're drumming, when they're singing, the prayers that each of that is, and how everything is appreciated. And so he says, today I am filled with joy. I let every sense of depression or heaviness depart from my mind, and let my soul be lifted up in song to the giver of all life, and to the joy of living. Joy is my companion, happiness my comrade. There is a song in my heart, singing into the creator of all things, and there is an invisible chorus responding through everything in nature and every person I meet. I proclaim this day to be one of happiness, of thanksgiving and praise to the Most High God, to the divine presence that inhabits eternity and has a dwelling place in my own soul. I express joy and gratitude to this inner presence, my Almighty God in my heaven. And the affirmation is, I'll read it through first. I look to the bright side and life becomes an easy flow. So if you'll say it with me.
I look to the bright side and life becomes an easy flow.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Great. Good morning, members of Saleck. And this morning, I'm delighted to be back, as well as to be welcoming my frequent collaborator and contributor, Michou, Landon. She's a wonderful singer and lyricist. She's a reverend with the Church of Divine Light. She offers a psychic healing practice called evolutionary witnessing, and is currently teaching a yin yoga class at 10 a.m. on Monday morning at the Santa Fe Community Yoga Center. She also has 2 books of poetry published, available at Amazon and other outlets. Please join me in welcoming Michou, Landon.
All of us on our way, each of us show up today. None of us all alone, each of us has our share to own. Step after step, each footfall finds the ground. We're learning to dance with grace abounding. There's no new normal, no pavement to be found. But pause for a moment and turn around. See how far you have come, my friend. Sunburn and blisters were part of the plan. There's no such thing as mistakes in the end. The way to now was then. I know I'm on my way, and I show up every day. When I feel overthrown, I ask grace to throw me a bone. Each of us finds our way, make a new start every day. We must lean in to grow. We all have help and we know. Step after step, each footfall finds the ground. We're learning to dance with grace abounding. There's no new normal, no pavement to be found. But pause just this moment and turn around. See how far you have come, my friend. The sunburn and blisters are part of the plan. There's no such thing as mistakes in the end. The way to now was then. Here we are on our way, showing up new every day. When we feel overthrown, we ask grace to throw us a bone. Each of us finds our way, we make a new start every day. We must lean in to grow. We have more help than we know. We are on our way, showing up new every day. When we feel overthrown, we know it. Us alone. Each of us finds our way. Where we'll end up, who can say? We must lean in to grow, but we all have more help than we know.
since I know this does this so easily. Good morning, every day.
Good morning.
Wow, what a start to this day we've had. It is so exciting to be here with all of you, to welcome every single one, in person, on Zoom, on Facebook, and those who will watch during the week ahead. I am kind of beside myself today. I'm Reverend Ann Ray, and I am very excited not only to welcome you, but to embrace you and remind you of who you are, and to see and speak with and hear each and every one. Whether or not we have a chance to connect before or after service, well, before it's back there. I just want you to know that this community is my spiritual home too. I'm not just the senior minister. This is my spiritual home too. And it is my spiritual home because of you. So I look at you and I treasure you, and I just am so grateful that we share the community that we do. And thank you for Joseph and Michou and Patty and Stephen for the contributions. Oh, and Kevin, where'd he go? Oh, there he is. For the contributions that have been a part of this service so far. Jackie, always. I mean, you know, I can't even imagine where we'd be without Jackie, who is, by the way, the president of your board, in case you had forgotten.
Yeah.
So, at any rate, I just felt overwhelmed with gratitude as Michou was singing today, with the acknowledgement of all of you.
Thank you.
So Patty, you can take a deep breath now. My title has not changed. When we think about things we have learned along the way that we didn't know, I mean, you know, it really doesn't matter how old or young we are. There is a lot that we have learned that we didn't know until we learned it. Right?
Right.
And before we knew it, before we learned it, it was hard. And we were convinced, maybe, some of us, that it was going to be hard. I have a few friends in this room, just a few. I have a few friends in this room who feel that way to this very moment about technology.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come up with a word for technology that is friendly. I haven't decided what it is yet. That hasn't dropped in yet. But who knows, maybe it will this morning. But as we were learning things, even if it was to crawl, walk, stand up on our own, which I know from my own experience watching little ones looked a lot like this. To play with a toy, to use words, although I never found a problem with that. But I mean, we can think about every single little thing, and I don't think we could, unless we have some kind of memory that can do that we could actually do the whole list of every single infinitesimal thing we learned. Do you remember when I told you last week or the week before the story about vanilla? Well, you weren't here, Wendy, and we missed you. Very quickly, when I think as soon as I was tall enough to stand on the stool without falling off, my grandmother let me stand at the stove with her when she was cooking. And that was my first experience smelling vanilla. Oh my gosh. I just couldn't believe that anything could smell that good. So if it smelled that good, it had to taste that good. And my grandmother kept telling me, don't do it. You don't want to do that. It won't hurt you. But you may never think about vanilla the same again. Well, of course, I was 4 or 3 or something. And so as soon as I had the chance, you gotta know, I took a swig out of that little bottle. Not just a little taste. And I thought, oh, now what do I do? Because now I had a mouthful of it. Anyway, fortunately for myself, anyone I've ever baked for, and those things I bake, I got over it. But it took me a while. It's like falling off of something. It may take us a while, whether it's a horse or a bike or whatever it is, it may take us a while before we get back on, before we try it again. And then we go along and we're doing things that before we didn't know how to do, and now we're comfortable with it. So we don't even think about it. It crosses my mind from time to time about driving. You know, I don't know about you, but when I was a teenager, man, I mean, I'm sure it started even before then. I was probably 10 when I decided, I don't know why we can't drive sooner. Because, I've been watching my mom and dad drive, and what's the big deal? But it turned out it was a big deal. It was a big deal, and there was more to know than I thought. There was more to learn than I thought, and for sure, there was more to be comforted by in terms of my own knowledge and my own experience than I thought. Because getting on the freeway in LA for the first time, I went to a school that had driver's ed, and maybe many of you did. Too bad they don't do that anymore. Scary. Anyway, getting on the freeway in LA for the first time was a big deal. But I did it, and everybody in the car survived, including me. And all of the other cars around me were okay. And we each took our turn, because I think 4 of us were being given driver's ed at the same time or something. So it got easy. It got easy. For Jackie, now it may have happened the very first time she got on a horse. She may never have had a moment where she had any doubt or any nervousness. I don't know the story about Jackie and her horse riding experience. I just know now she hops on and off horses like, you know, we walk in and out of doors. As we learned, we became more comfortable and things became easier. We became more confident and things became easier. And we didn't even realize necessarily as we went along, because it was always practice. You know, it's always about practice. It was always practice. We were always practicing whatever new thing we were learning. And even now, the things that to us we do without a second thought, like getting in the car, turning on the ignition, putting our foot on the accelerator, hopefully having the car in reverse if it's parked next to something. But we don't think about those individual steps, do we? We just do it as a seamless action. So eventually, those things that seem hard, that we think of when we're looking at it and we haven't attempted it yet. It's unknown to us, it's unfamiliar to us. Those things that seem hard eventually become easy.
Yeah.
Can I have more than one yes?
Yes.
Oh, good. Because maybe Denise is the only one who's had that experience. I know that's not the case. Those things that seemed hard, about which we had hesitation, about which we were feeling anxious maybe, depending on what it was and when it was. If we did it enough, it became easy. But it starts with doing it at all.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
It starts with step 1. Doesn't start with step 10. It doesn't start with step 50. It starts with step 1. And when we are looking at our lives now, and we are feeling like something is difficult, or can be, depending. Well, you know, it always depends. It depends on what else is involved. It depends on who else is involved. It depends. Or does it? What does it depend on besides us? Patty, in her opening treatment this morning, said something about perspective. And perspective is so important, but so is attitude. You know, if we're excited about learning something, I was out of my mind excited to learn how to play the pipe organ. I'm not kidding. Because my hero at the time, who was my piano teacher, she played the pipe organ. And she got to use all those keyboards and all those switches and keys and play with her feet and do all that stuff. And I thought, oh man, if Mary Ann can do it, and I want to be cool like Mary Ann, then I gotta learn how to play the pipe organ. The only thing was I wasn't really willing to practice. You know, it was cool to think about being like Mary Ann, but it wasn't so cool to play the pipe organ. And so sometimes we approach something that we think is the direction that, you know, gravity is pulling us in. Whether it's gravity or intuition, divine impulse is pulling us in, and then we get there and we go, maybe not. Maybe this isn't for me. And that's part of the process. In Michou's song, Michou and Joseph's song, I think, right? You two wrote that together. Thought so. There's a line that says, the blisters and the sunburn are part of the process. They're part of the plan. And I think also getting close up with something that isn't for us and discovering it isn't for us and saying, oops, not for me. That's part of the plan. Because that's how we discern. Not only the what, but the who. One of the things that I consider really valuable about my spiritual community and your spiritual community is how we hang out together and support each other in our beliefs. How we hang out together and we don't stand around and say to each other in every conversation, there's one life, there's one power, there's one presence, and I know that it is my life and your life too. We don't do that. I do that from here. But we don't typically get into those conversations, but we look into each other's eyes and we support each other unconditionally in what's important to each of us. Because we have that basis. We're all standing in the same basis. We're all planted in the same soil. And we can support each other unconditionally because we know that at a greater level, we are all supported unconditionally. And so we're just here to show up for each other as a reflection of that. And the more we do it, the more fun it becomes. there's an exercise that Denise and I have used in a couple of different classes. Denise? Yeah. I'm inclined to really do this live right now. So you're going to have to come up here close enough to the mic where you can be heard. Now, the scene is Denise and I haven't seen each other in decades. So we've totally lost track of each other's lives. We aren't on Facebook. She's not on Facebook. And we've totally lost track of each other's lives. And we run into each other. Oh my God!
Ray!
Oh, Denise for Lizzie.
What a great surprise!
How great to see you.
Oh my gosh, you look amazing. What have you been
You
up to?
too.
Thank you.
Well, I've been up to stuff that supports me looking amazing.
I guess.
Tell
me more.
What have you been up to?
Oh my gosh, my life has just turned around since we last, I can't even remember how long ago we saw each other, but my life has changed and I'm blossomed and I'm totally different probably than what you remember me to be.
Well, I can see it on your face. Oh, I'm so excited for
I
you.
know, and I'm so excited to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm a minister now.
No way.
Honest to goodness.
Wait. Is it
Really?
gonna open? It's
Really, truly. I know I took all those years saying no.
Oh my gosh.
I am a minister now. I have a fabulous community of which I am so blessed to be a part in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Oh my God, from California all the way?
I know.
What happened?
Well, I stopped saying no.
See what happens when you say yes?
Uh-huh.
Yes, Reverend Ann Ray. You get the idea.
So the point is that we can use our imaginations. We can use the natural enthusiasm that we have inside to imagine anything being easy.
Yep.
Because we have anybody in the room like evidence? Anybody in the room into proof? We have a lot. God bless you on the truth. We have a lifetime of it. We each have a lifetime of it. Because once when things were hard, and we learned how to do it differently, how to see it differently, how to approach it differently, how to think about it differently, it became easy. There is no secret. We have a lifetime of practice. Just like the moon has two sides, the sun has two sides. If you're looking at it sideways, and I know it's a little like this, but flip that puppy over. Not the puppy, really. But the idea that something is hard, that something's in your way, that there is an obstacle that you cannot overcome because you're in this all by yourself. Just the idea that we are ever for a moment in anything, in any situation or circumstance, by ourselves without any support is ridiculous.
Right.
It's ridiculous. It isn't about other people. It's about our understanding of that which surrounds us with its love and support 24/7. Without any withholding, without any judgment, without any criticism, without any, well, if you get this right, then maybe I'll be able to find time to help you out. None of that jazz. It is immediate. It is unconditional. And yes, you deserve it.
That's right.
Yes.
Stop with this nonsense. Really? It's time. It's time to let go of doubt. It's time to let go of that anxiety that comes with uncertainty. As long as you are sure of yourself and you are sure of the life that is you, there is no more sure that you need to be. It is never about somebody else. Believe me. Or as the old saying used to be, trust me. The confidence in ourselves that, and just again, I invite you to think back to all the things you've learned. That when you didn't know how to do it, it was hard. It was a challenge. You may have even thought you couldn't do it. And then you did it. And then you did it again. And then you did it again. And then you didn't even think about it when you did it. Your life is full of those experiences. Use that evidence to build your courage, to build your confidence, because you did all of those things, not somebody else. Somebody else could not have. You were the one who had to do it for you. And wouldn't it be delicious to finally step out, cross the threshold to a life that feels more fulfilled and more fulfilling and more rich and more awesome every day. And not have all of these yada, yada, yada distractions going on up here about what's going on with somebody else. I'm not talking about not caring about what's going on with other people. Caring is a whole other thing. But when other people become, in our minds, the way or means to our happiness, then we have left our lane. Because they are not. There's only one source. And that source is with us, guiding us, guarding us, uplifting us, inspiring us every minute. Amen. Yeah, us. Every single one of us. And every single one of the everybody's and the everythings that exists or will exist. Because that's what it does. The other side of hard really is easy. No question. musicians do this.
I shall now defy gravity. Love knows no shame. Water flows to the lowest rose. Vapors rise slow and fall as snow. Fierce warrior, fire warms and transforms. Hungers, expands, and can't help but dance. Love sound and light before the womb, beyond the tomb, sounds through the night. Earth, verdant heart of gravity's integrity, minerals and trees, from quartz to bended knees. Everywhere air rises high, fills the sky, hunts in packs as wind, ocean's unseen hand. Love's sound and light before the womb, beyond the tomb, sounds through the night. We wait on the rain. Prayer takes power from the darkest hour, and all water flows to raise the lowest note. Love, sound, and light
us all to do that together. Michou, would you come up here a minute? This is our glorious time of giving and being grateful. And I'd like us all to sound that together. Did you feel that vibration within yourself?
Mm-hmm.
That is such a special connection. And I hope that we remember to do it frequently. And so in gratitude, it's time for our conscious giving. So if the ushers would please come forward. I want us all to remember the law of reciprocity, because it's always working. And so if we remember that whatever it is we give out, that is what goes around. It's like casting the bread upon the water. It goes out, it swells up, and it comes back multiplied and overflowing. And when we send blessings out, this is what we get back. And so if you'll hold your gifts, whatever they may be, close to your heart. And let's say our blessing together. The love
of Spirit blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive abundantly, and so it is.
We have a few announcements. These beautiful ladies are collecting your gifts. We have sign-up sheets back there, and many of you have already signed up, and there is still room for more. We have, we're actually looking for someone to take charge of Let Us Connect, that we're going to do.
We have 3 spots left for the 10th of September.
And we have 3 spots left, as Denise said. So sign up, because we always have a wonderful time. We were going to Montecito, and they always treat us well. So we're also having sign-ups for snacks. Those of you, some of you have brought snacks already. And if you are so inclined, we'd love for you to sign up again. It doesn't have to be big or fancy. And we're looking for tech backup. How many would you like to train?
3.
10.
3 times 3 times 3.
Denise said 3 times 10. and she'll train you, and if Renee was talking about technology, I am probably not the one to do that. But
It's easy.
Anybody can learn, right?
That's right.
So think about that. We have also the, let's see here. We have the Science of Mind magazine study group, and that's meeting every other week. Let's see, it's the first and third Wednesdays here at Big Tikva. And we have had some really good discussions. So I invite you to come. Jackie's doing a wonderful job of leading the group, and we've had some really good discussions. So come and join us. And you don't have to have a magazine to do it. But we read out of the magazine, and she last time sent us a copy of what we were going to be looking at. So I invite you to do that, because it's a great way to get to know each other, for one thing, and share this philosophy with one another. We are all growing together. And so, did I cover everything?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So if the ushers will come forward now, please. We give thanks for these gifts in whatever form they have come, because we know that everything just blossoms as it goes into this basket. Whether it's a feeling, whether it's a contribution of money, whatever the contribution is, it grows. And so we give thanks for this. As it comes to us, we share it with the community, the greater community, from the city to the state to wherever it needs to go. And so whenever there's a special need, we honor that. So I thank all of those who have given today, be it online, wherever it is, knowing that each gift is received with absolute joy and abundance and gratitude. And together we can say,
And so it is.
So it is.